This is Pet Life Radio. Let's talk pets.
Vegas Rock Dog Radio. Pets, people, pop culture. Bring on the host, Sam, the queen of rock and roll dogs.
Hello everyone, I'm Sam, the queen of rock and roll dogs and host of Vegas Rock Dog Radio. On today's show, I'm talking about the skin's microbiome and animal news from around the world. So stay right there.
Let's bring on the host, Sam, the queen of rock and roll dogs.
Hi everyone, welcome to the show. I'm your host, Sam, the queen of rock and roll dogs, and this is Vegas Rock Dog Radio. We're a rock and roll show all about pets, people, and pop culture. In studio with me today is Mr. Jim.
Yes, right here across from you.
Yes, and relaxing after their breakfast are Mr. Twix and Miss Thornton. And, you know, when we get ready to go in the studio, we just say, showtime, and they run on in, take a seat, and relax. Sometimes they'll bark, sometimes, but not very often, though, do they, Jim?
No,
really?
little Miss Tina's all chilled out in her chair, in her armchair right now.
Quiet time, everybody's together. Have you noticed that when everyone is together in the family on the sofa, everybody seems to be happy, don't you think, Jim?
I agree. I'm looking at her right now. I wish I was chilling out like she was and not working.
How long was your ride this morning?
12T.
12T. 12T mile. You only did 12 miles?
No, I did 34 this morning.
Okay, 12T. If anyone watches League of Gentlemen, then you'll know where that comes from. 12T. Tubbs says that, doesn't she? That's her line.
It's Tubbs' line when she's asking for Edward's approval.
Oh, Tubbs did good. Well, I've got quite a bit planned in the show today, and I'm doing something a little different. I'm actually doing the show standing up. It actually feels quite good.
You need a Vari-desk.
You know, IKEA have one, Jim.
What?
IKEA have one. Our friend Andy. Mm-hmm. So our friend Andy, he just moved to New York, so I'm mad about that. Anyway, he's a set designer for TV, theatre, stage, you name it. Done some really big names. You know, American Idol. So you
Millionaire.
Millionaire, so you think can dance. I mean, Millionaire's over 20 years old now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you see anything on TV and the name Andy Walmsley underneath, you know it's him. Anyway, so they moved to New York, obviously into a much smaller place. Wow. I mean, I couldn't believe the price of rents and the size that you get. Anyway, it's very nice though. But what he's done is, because he likes to work on a very specific kind of desk, and so he got one and he got it from IKEA. He said it was $450 if I'm not wrong, but I think I saw that in the as-is section this week for $250 if I'm not wrong. But
well, Vari-desks are really expensive. The company that started those.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
So they definitely have their benefits when you can, you know, get the right height. Here's the thing: me being short, often the desks feel really high. Jim being tall. You know what happened? Tell them what happened to you before we get into the show. Tell them what happened to your desk.
My desk has, I don't know, it's just faulty design.
It's a cool desk.
It's a cool desk, but it's not cool because it had these caster wheels, these big soft rubber caster wheels that go up into the legs. But the bracket that holds the casters into the leg is just a cheap plastic design, and the wheels collapsed. I almost lost everything off my studio
it happened
desk.
twice. So now he's taken the caster wheels off.
You can't put them back on again. You can't buy those things.
And it's too short for me. I can't get my legs underneath
Well,
it. So if you walk in, you go, it's a bit Alice in Wonderland, isn't it? You know, everything's out of perspective.
I'll get a studio desk in there again, I think.
It's such a nice desk.
It's going to end up going to the free section of the driveway.
It's a mare. It's a mare, we call it, a nightmare.
Yeah, it'll go to the free section of the driveway one night.
Well, that's our weekly update, I guess. And if you listen to the show the first time, this is what we do. We kind of go through our ridiculous week, and then we get onto the topics themselves. That desk, though, and it makes me sad because it's such a nice desk. It's such a nice desk. I just don't know how we could fix it. And the fact that you could wheel it around was great. Anyway.
Yep, those days are over. Time for change.
It. Just stop. Anyway, I hate that when everything else is in good shape. Really? Okay, so if you want to connect with us elsewhere on the internet, of course, our website is the main website. I just did a massive update on it. Sometimes you go on there and you think you're doing a little tiny update, and then before you know it, I'll change this, or I'll change that. Anyway, it turned into a bit more work than I wanted, but I actually focused a lot more on the mobile site because I think it's something like 87% of people are basically using their phones to access anything on the internet. So I did a big update on that, and it's a lot clearer, a lot easier. Yeah. So, but still a lot of work. Anyway, you can find us, of course, on our website, vegasrockdogradio.com. And you can find us on Periscope, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Tumblr, and Instagram. Oh, I do have an update. Hang on one second, though. And we do have a blog. The blog is therockandrolldog.com. And if you missed the live show, you can catch up on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spoke by SiriusXM, and Spotify. And I think this week we're already on Google Play. I just need to make a little double check on that one. And our website, if you don't want to go to those podcast apps and find our show, just go to our website because the links are on there. So if you're a big fan of Spotify, then you'll see the link on there and make it very easy for you. Here's an update that I did forget about. I'm doing a giveaway this week, and I'm doing a giveaway on our Facebook page, which is Vegas Rock Dog Radio. And what I'm doing is I'm giving away one of our Meow notebooks. And basically, I'm going to pick a winner at random. But all I'm asking you to do is click on the link. You'll see it on our Facebook page. Click on the link to enter and tell me what it is you love about your pets, what they mean to you. So we've had quite a few applications already, entries, I guess. And then tomorrow night at midnight is when it closes. On Monday, I'll pick a winner at random, and I'll shoot you an email and get your address and send out the prize. So head on over to vegasrockdogradio.com. You will find the giveaway on our page. So that's another thing we've been up to this week. You forget. It just gets busy. Just keep going. One thing we did do yesterday that was nice, though, we actually went over to the Silverton Casino and just hung out by the pool. And a lot of the pools are free for locals, so it was just nice to pretend that you're on holiday. It was really nice, wasn't it, Jim, for a change?
Yeah, my 3-hole punch is messed up.
Why? What's wrong with it?
It's not lined up right. I need to get a screwdriver.
You've heard that phrase, haven't you? Ooh, look, a squirrel. I think that was just a ooh, look, a squirrel moment.
Yes, the pool was nice as well.
It was really nice. We might go back. We're going to...
Too bad we can't take the dogs, and then there would be no small screaming children.
Oh, I know. Why do
not
people
that
like the kids?
I like kids, but not screaming ones
it gets to be a point where it's like,
not
stop.
at a pool.
Yeah, it's too much, isn't it?
Like, shut your mouth, enjoy the pool,
yeah,
stop screaming.
Well, you do have to consider other people, don't you? I mean...
Not when you're today's parents. Sorry. Fits.
But I'm wondering if they just get deaf to it because they hear it all the time. It becomes normal. Maybe that's what it is, Jim. Oh, well, we are in the season, by the way, of allergies. And, it's rough. Our two are finally coming out of it. It's funny, some years are good, some years are bad. They had a great year last year, but this year we've had a fair bit of rain. Strange for us. And it's made a lot more stuff bloom. And it's terrible. There's so many pets right now. The vets are full of pets and itching and wanting to rip their skin off and red ears and raw paws. And it's really horrible to see them suffer that way. I can always measure how, we've had years we've had nothing, haven't we, Jim? We've done really well, particularly with Thornton. But this year was just rough on some dogs who never even get allergies. And we often associate allergies with food allergies, but a lot of the time it's environmental. It could be something in your home, could be something that's blooming in your garden. And so it's something you do have to, become aware of. As I say, we tend to go, oh, that dog's itching. Oh, have you looked at their food? But then we don't say, what time of year is it? What's blooming? And we are known for, what do they call it? The horrible tree.
Mulberry.
Yeah.
Ash.
What is this? One more.
There's another one.
The
three bad ones.
One of them
they're not native.
One of them is so bad that
mulberry's the worst.
You're banned from
mulberry
planting it.
Ash is bad. They happen at different times.
I feel bad for the older neighborhoods who have those trees. Oh my gosh, it's bad. What's the tree with the yellow flowers?
I think that might be sumac.
It drops so much pollen. It's ridiculous. Yeah. It's like a blanket of yellow across the streets. It's so bad. Anyway, so I say we're in that season. But last week, here's a glimmer of hope for everyone. Last week, I watched a Facebook Live with Rodney Habib and Julianne Lee. And she is of the Adored Beast. Bit of an epiphany, I have to say. Now, lots of people don't want to watch the lives because they think they're too long, but sometimes they need time to explain what it is they're trying to help you with. And so, save them. Lots of people don't know how to save, by the way, on Facebook still. People are still doing a dot, a period as a comment, because then they'll get an update and they'll do it as a reminder. But really, just click the little drop-down arrow on the top right-hand corner and select save. You can actually save now into categories, which is brilliant. I mean, can you imagine how much of that saving I do every single week? It's a lot. Anyway, that's how you can save it. But I did watch all the way through it. First of all, I have to say, one, we love Rodney. Number two, I really liked Julianne Lee. There's something about her that is just, you go, I just want to be her friend. And actually I did friend her, which I rarely friend anyone. But I just, what I got from her was, this is someone who really cares about animals. So here we go. Here was the epiphany for me. Because we focus a huge amount of our energy on food allergies and strengthening the gut microbiome, which it is important, why are we looking at the skin's microbiome? Because it's the one thing you see with allergies is the skin is inflamed. What are we doing for the skin? And you don't think about that. You think, internally, but we also need to, look externally. Because after all, the skin is the body's largest organ. And it's the one thing, like I said, it itches, it's so inflamed, and especially at this time of year. So in a nutshell, I think what's really important to understand is, will you just do me a little search, Jim? The dangers of antibacterial lotions, because this was a big thing that she mentioned. She talked about bacteria. We've got good and we've got bad bacteria. And what these, I wish I'd taken a bit more of a note on this one, but basically she was saying if you use these antibacterials, it kills off bacteria that you need, and it takes the bacteria out of balance, and it leaves something behind. I forgot what she said it was called, and then you stroke your pets, and then it can take theirs out of balance too. Their good and bad bacteria as well. And I will agree with it. I mean, I'm not an anti-bac person. I'm not, but I won't touch a handle. Like Jim.
Yeah, that's okay. So you're not concerned that you get germs, but you have no problem with me picking them up.
It's totally
the
fine.
Germs are here.
It's totally
welcome to the germs in your house. Oh, I won't touch that. You touch it. Oh, well, that's coming to my house.
I know, but I just can't.
Strange woman.
But in a nutshell, not all bacteria is bad. And we need to foster a good balance of bacteria on our pet's skin, as well as our own, of course. But there are some people almost addicted to those antibacs. Have you found it?
7 reasons why you should avoid antibacterial hand gel. Mr. Twix is under your tripod.
Oh, okay.
Of your
My
studio lights.
Okay, I'll just
under that tripod.
Okay, he'll be fine, I'm sure. He has a way of finding his way into the strangest little places. Do you want to quickly run them off, or do you have to go into depth with those?
Let me look quickly.
Well, you know what? Let me carry on while you...
Number 1.
Oh, go on.
Dry skin.
Well, yeah. Ooh.
Number 2, accelerated aging.
Ooh.
Number 3, damaged skin.
Oh.
Number 4, antibiotic resistance.
Oh, yes. That's one of them.
Number 6. Number 5, unknown chemicals.
Yeah.
Number 6, weakened immune system.
Bad news.
And number 7, the FDA states there is no evidence that antibacterial soaps and sanitizers are any more effective than regular soap and warm water in helping to prevent the spread of germs.
What a waste of money.
That was just one article that I saw. There's quite a bit of stuff online. That was from Anna Marie Gianni Skincare Tips, but there's Live Strong. Has some Texas Poison Control.
Can you specifically search? It sounds like a really bizarre search, but what is left behind on the skin after you use antibacterial lotions? Because there was a name for it, and I'm one of those like, I gotta find out. There's a name for it that's left behind on your skin, but I'm going to continue with what I was saying here. So we do need to foster a good balance of bacteria on our skin, and what Julianne was explaining was how the use of these antibacterial lotions is just not a practice you should continue. Because 7 of the things that Jim just mentioned right there, and how it creates an imbalance in bacteria. So after explaining, she explains the makeup of the skin. She calls it the topography, which I think is a fantastic word. She gave some fantastic remedies, one of which I tried this week. Because I that day, I was like, I've got to go out and buy this.
Well, Mayo says there's allergic reactions. Mayo Clinic.
But can you find out what's left behind after you use it? Like the residual chemical or whatever it is?
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to be a bit creative, don't you, with searches. So the first one, I swear, you're going to think, what? The first remedy she gave was, let your dogs roll in dirt. Let them roll in dirt. Let them dig in your garden. Let them roll around. Now, Mr. Twix is pretty good at that, I will say. I call him a very good gardener, especially when I put new plants in. He loves to hop on in that soil, and he thinks it's fantastic. But what's happening is the good bacteria is coming onto the skin that helps the balance of the skin. I thought it was just like, what? This is amazing. Now, of course, if you live rurally as well, how fantastic is that? In fields, I feel... Actually, I should ask all my friends back home in England, in Sheffield, who it's very rural, what, percentage of them are having skin issues. I bet you anything. And I don't see any of them actually talk about skin issues with their dogs. I honestly don't. So I'm going to do my own little research there. But let them roll around in dirt, in mud.
Triclosan is the antibacterial ingredient that's left behind.
Okay, and then can you find out the effects of that? See, you have to, what do they call? You have to, what's the word they call it? Not dig deep. There's a word everybody uses, drill down. You've got to drill down and find out what that means. So rolling in dirt, rolling in mud. And you know what? Mud dries, brush it off. And she said, don't shower it away. Or you could rinse it, I guess, but do not do the shampoo thing. Just don't do that. Now you're thinking, oh gosh, I live in an apartment. What am I going to do? I don't have a garden. I don't have a field. What the heck am I going to do? How am I going to find some dirt? So here was our other suggestion. And that was to get a kiddie pool, little kids, swimming pool, preferably one of those hard ones, because you know how dogs are with inflatable things. And then she said, buy some organic soil, some organic compost, put it in there, make it lots and lots of fun by throwing in bones, toys, treats. You can rub it on them. And I know you're probably going, what the heck? But think about it. It has the right bacteria that's going to help your dog's skin. So I just thought this was just like, what? This is so amazing. And again, you can brush it off and they're fine. They're going to be fine. The other option. Oh, did you have something you wanted to say, Jim?
Triclosan is It decreases the levels of some thyroid hormones, at least in animals.
Wow.
Other studies have raised the exposure, increases the likelihood that bacteria will develop resistance. But in animals in particular, it affects thyroid.
So what it's also doing then, it's affecting their immune system to be able to deal with environmental and seasonal allergies. Think about that. So you're not doing your dog any favors. You're not doing yourself any favors by doing that. So if you keep using those anti-bacs, you're in a terrible vicious cycle that you'll never get out of. Wow, that's so interesting. So she said, if you're living in an apartment, and you know what, if you have a balcony, you can put a little pool out on the balcony and do it that way. Put it in the bathroom. And that's going to be a very, very easy way to try and balance that skin microbiome, which I thought was fantastic. Now, here was another option, and this is the one that I did. Another option, she said, was to get a pre- and probiotic powder where there's many types of bacteria and just like billions of probiotics, like billions and gazillions, yeah, as many as you can, but as many types of bacteria. So there's going to be two different numbers on the pro and prebiotic what they call it, jar or whatever it is you get it in. And what you're going to do is you're going to dissolve that in some water and you're going to give your dogs a rinse. So that's easily done. So easy. Hop them in the bath, pour it straight on them. Don't rinse it off. Now what I did, not only did I pour it on the dogs, I also put it in a spray bottle so I could get under their armpits and their paws. And I have one of those, you'll have seen them on Amazon and think, oh, really? That looks stupid. One of the best things I ever got. It's like it's a plastic bottle, kind of, very wide opening in the top. Mine has neoprene in the top, and you shove their foot in there. I let my dogs put their weight on it, so it goes all the way up halfway through their legs. And, inside, either I've got povidone rinse or something like that, but I did this with the pre and probiotic rinse, stuck it in there, and then sprayed them down. Now, what she said was, you can do this, you can do it one day and see how it goes. And if that helps, then leave it be. If you feel like you need a little bit more help, day 2, you can do day 3. You can do them consecutively, then you're going to give it a break. Yep. So I did. I got pretty good on day 2. Pretty good. Thornton, great. But I went with day 3. Thornton's been really, really good. Twix he's still a little bit itchy. So I'm going to, I'll restart that again next week. But I thought it made quite the difference. And of course, it's pre and probiotics. So what's wrong with that? It's great for the body. So I was very excited to watch this. I was not expecting to hear that. I thought it was like, whoa, yeah, why are we ignoring the largest organ of the body? When we can see it's reacting to something, why are we not treating the skin as well? So I was very excited about that. So I'm really happy to actually bring that to you. And I will of course, link this up in the show notes so that you can go back and watch it yourself, which I'll go back again because there's always more you can pull out of these Facebook Lives. There's such a lot of information. And unless you're actually writing notes as you go along, go back and watch it all over again and then save it. And then share it with your friends. That's a really important thing. So it's sad, though, to hear, oh, my gosh, my dog who's never had allergies, all of a sudden spring's here and it's like, what? This is horrible, chewing their little feet off. And I mean, there was a point where Thornton was always in a cone and pajamas at this time of year. Oh, it was horrible, trying everything. But as I say, she's doing great now, and I'm very happy about that. But you can always tell when they just, you can tell they're uncomfortable. It's a horrible thing when you want to make them as comfortable as possible. So there you go. So that was, as I say, that's going to be on my show notes. And I honestly urge you, try everything, see what your dogs respond to. And I'm sure you'll see some kind of a difference like we did. Very happy about that. Well, Jim, on that note, let's take a quick break because when we come back, we're going to talk about Airbnb rentals that double as animal habitats. What? You're listening to Vegas Rock Dog Radio with me, Sam, your host, the queen of rock and roll dogs, and we'll be right back.
Vegas Rock Dog Radio. Pets, people, pop culture.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynavite for help.
Order a 90-day supply of Dynavite.
Dynavite for life.
Pick up 2 tubes of Doggo Suds.
Get the 3rd tube free.
Peppermint, tea tree, lavender, Doggo Sud shampoo.
Made with all-natural coconut, jojoba, aloe. Great for healthy skin and soft, shiny coats.
But no itchy, harsh chemicals.
Lather up, rinse away.
Try Doggo Suds. Buy 2, get 1 free.
At Dynavite.com.
DINOVITE.com.
Let's talk pets
Let's talk pets
on Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Vegas Rock Dog Radio. Pets, people, pop culture.
Welcome back, everyone. So just before the break, we talked about balancing the skin's microbiome for those pets who are having a really tough time with allergies, seasonal allergies and environmental allergies. When we say environmental, it can be all kinds of things, but think about what's in your home as well. And I think we should probably put together a sheet of things you can eliminate out of your home that could be impacting you and your pets. For example, dry sheets. Get rid of those. Toxic. Oh, so we have a lovely cat rescue here in town that actually is run by a vet, and it's actually attached to her office, which is wonderful. And it's called the Poppy Foundation. Poppy. Whenever I say that, people think I'm saying puppy. Poppy. Who would say poppy for a puppy? Poppy. It's the Poppy Foundation. How do you say it, Jim?
Poppy.
No. It's the Poppy Foundation.
Poppy.
Named after a cat called Poppy and what happened to Poppy. And often a lot of these places spring up because of an animal that impacted someone's life. And they want to then, as part of their legacy, pay it forward and help other animals. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, the Poppy Foundation and dryer sheets. They just recently found out that dryer sheets are toxic for pets. And of course, you can imagine in a facility with animals, there is a lot of washing of towels and blankets and beds and da-da-da. They've got rid of them. Done. Bye-bye. And now all they're using are those dryables, which is what we've got. Not the plastic ones, because who wants plastic heating up in a dryer? It's the wool ones, which is what we've got. And they work. They work. Close this off. They dry very, very quickly actually with those. Very happy about that. Anyway, so maybe we'll put a list together of things that you can just eliminate straight away. Like we've got a steamer for our floors. We don't use any chemicals whatsoever on the floors. I walk around barefoot all the time. You do for the most part, Jem. Dog's definitely a barefoot. And if you're spraying stuff on your floors, it's being absorbed through the skin. Now, although I don't lick my feet, Jim does sometimes, but the dogs definitely lick their paws.
That's not right.
Oh my gosh. Do you know, I actually do love standing up doing the show, I have to tell you. It feels better. I feel like I can breathe better as well. Anyway, where was I going with all of this? Yes, so we'll put a list together that you can download and do a little checklist. You might not be aware that some of these things are not great for you or your pets. Things like plug-in air fresheners. Goodbye. Say goodbye to them. There are other ways that you can have a nice fragrance in your home. You could use animal EO essential oils. What you would do, and they were formulated and screened by a veterinarian and tested, so they will be safe for your pets. But you still have to be aware of what's good for cats and dogs, because cats are super sensitive. But that's another way that you can, freshen up and also get some benefits from essential oils. And if you do want to pick up some of those oils from Animal EO, just go to their Facebook page. And you can ask tons of questions on there about their products. And they're great. Absolutely great. So who was that? Was that Thor? Who made that noise? That was so funny.
Oh, it's her, yeah.
All kinds of noise going on around here. So yeah, we'll do that, because it's often you're just not aware of half the horrible things that are in your home. And it can be a bit mortifying, because you start looking at things going, oh, I can't have that in my house. Oh, I can't use that in my house. Oh my gosh, I was putting that on my skin. I mean, it can be a bit, In fact, though, if you're not sure about some products, you can get the app, actually, the Environmental Working Group, EWG. Get their app. You'll be able to plug in that particular product. I think you just scan it in now as well, and they'll tell you how it's not just how it's rated, but what chemicals are in it, how dangerous they can be on your health, and if they exceed safe levels, that kind of thing. Anyway, let's get on to let's get on to Airbnb rentals that double as animal habitats. And I picked this little nugget of information up from Refinery 29. Yeah?
I'd like to stay at the alligator Airbnb.
You would? Okay. They said, your dream vacation may look like a tropical beach filled with swimsuits, sandals, and sand. And they said, we feel that. But if it looks more like a farm filled with fuzzy, furry, and feathered friends, then we've got major travel tea to spill. Taking a trip to an animal-filled oasis isn't only possible, it's rentable. Llama lovers, they said, this one is for you. Do you know what spill the tea means?
No, because I'm American.
Give me the info. Give me the gossip. Actually, I don't hear it that much at home. I hear it more here. Whoa. It's become a big pop culture thing, which, by the way, remind me, I also have an update on Spill the Tea. What was I saying? Oh, I got a little off track there. Spill the tea. Spill the tea often means give me the goods, tell me the gossip. Just remember, though, if you spill the tea and it's gossip, sometimes tea stains. So be careful who you spill the tea to. Anyway, they're giving us the goods on this one. They did a lot of research on Airbnbs that doubled as habitats for llamas, horses, goats, potbelly pigs, and more, with rental proceeds going towards rescue animal care and rehabilitation programs. You know I'm all about that. And they said whether it's a cozy alpaca ranch in California or an eco monkey reserve in Belize, or a solar-powered goat farm in South Africa, they found 17 rentals that are made for these four-legged friends and, of course, their biggest fans, and all come compassionately recommended from the animal lovers who stayed there firsthand. So I'm going to put you a little link up about that, and they said, complete with all the hands-on animal experience that your heart desires, from feeding to farming, petting, and caring for a crew of cute creatures. Okay, so on that note, I think it's really important to understand that animals are not for entertainment. So if you think you're going for entertainment, you should not participate. What you should go is, if you can go and actually aid, say for example, the goats have to be fed twice a day or whatever it is, or exercised every day. That's a different thing. It's part of their normal life and routine. But if it comes to, now is feed a giraffe time, and there's 100 people there, that's not what you want to do, because that's not normal. So I think if you're participating in their normal activities, that's a whole different story, like mucking out horses. Get your pitchfork, you're going to have to muck out some horses. That's something you have to do. We've got horses. Totally get that. But if you're viewing them as entertainment, that's a big no-no. I hate to say this, and I'm not going to mention the person's name, but it's a friend of mine that I'm going to have to mention to her. But we did this. How weird is this? We did the show on not swimming with pigs in the Bahamas,
and she's
the most amazing person. You know her. We love her. She loves animals. To the point of she's helping in rescue. I think she's fallen victim to, like we talked about in that show, which was, of course, they're not going to tell you they're starving the pigs and keep them in a pen all day. And then, when the boat shows up and you've got food in your hands, off they go running into the ocean to swim to get food from you. They can be aggressive too, because they're hungry. And it's in a beautiful location. It's the Bahamas. And I think she's fallen victim to that. I know she's going to be mortified when she finds out the truth about them. And it was the exact pigs that we did the show on, the ones in the Bahamas, the exact ones.
Wow.
And it's funny because the guy is saying, the guide, he's in the ocean and he's going, be careful because they will bite. Well, yeah, because we've already covered why they bite, because they're starving and they want the food from you. Because if they get all aggressive, I can put them back in the pen, as if like the pen's there in case they get aggressive. That's where they're living. They're not free roaming pigs. They're like, hey, there's a boat here. I wonder if they got a sandwich for me. So even the best people I know in animal rescue can also be fooled as well. I do know she'll be mortified, though. Oh, my God. I couldn't believe it. We did the show, and then I saw the video. I was like, what? Oh, no. This is terrible. But they're very good at deception. I think you have to remember that. They're not going to tell you they don't treat them well on their websites. They're going to tell you they're well cared for, and they've rescued them. It's always the baby tiger, its mother abandoned it.
Yeah, right.
What, 100 of them? Okay. We rescued them. Oh, it's not good. It's not good. Anyway, so there's my update. I will put a link to that. I love the fact that they give back to... So I'm going to say, if these people give back to, who own these properties, give back to rescues and programs like that, I'm going to say they're pretty clued in as to how to treat animals. I just hope it's not a ruse to get people to go. You see, now I'm going to have to do more research, Jim. I'm going to have to do even more research. In fact, one of the best research things to do? Go and look at reviews. I'm telling you, people will tell the truth on a review. So, talking about spilling the tea, came out with a notebook. 2 basset hounds literally having a tea party. And it says, "Darling, do spill the tea." So, that's available. But I also came out with a planner this week, an academic planner. Academic planners either run 6, 12, or 18 months, sometimes 2 years. But I would think after 6 months you want to change your planner. If you're anything like me, I like a good old change. So I created yesterday, and actually I should check if it's live. It might be live on Amazon already. Let me have a little look. Yes, it is. Just got the email. It's called Yas Queen, Y-A-S Queen, and it's a cat with a crown on. And it's a big pop culture thing, Jim. It's like a slang term for, that's fantastic, I'm excited, you've got this, yeah? Yes, Queen.
What does it mean?
I just told you what it meant.
Okay.
Did you?
But the meaning
yes,
is...
Queen. Like, yes, Queen.
Oh, like a play on
like
word.
Yes, yeah,
Oh.
Like, yes, Queen.
Went right over my head.
Like, that's fabulous. That's
Right-
wonderful.
right over my head.
Excited. So I've come out with an academic planner. It starts July the 1st and it goes to the end of December of 2019. It's available. It's a cat with a crown on. And on the top it says, Yes, Queen. And underneath, academic planner. Just thought I'd, like, what's this show about, Jim?
Pets, people, and pop culture.
Spill the tea. Yes, Queen. All with an animal theme. Can't beat that, can you? Moving on. Little piece of information that I found, and then I had a bit of a struggle because when I went to the main link for the full article, it was in Dutch. So, but this is the bit I read. There was a statement that was put out by the Dutch Pug Club Comedia website. Now, I don't know where they are.
The DPCCW.
Okay. Oh, very good. DPCCW, that's yeah, very good acronym there, Jim. I don't know where they rank in the Netherlands. I don't know where this club ranks. Is this like the top club that we have to look towards them because they're doing the right thing for pugs? I don't know, but I do love their statement. They said, because the ministry is of the opinion that breeding dogs with harmful physical characteristics has been banned since 2014, so they were way ahead of the time, we must conclude that our own statutes and code of ethics are in violation of the law. So they've realized we're not in compliance. And so they're breeding dogs that can't brachycephalic breeding. So the short-nosed dogs, the pugs. Therefore, the club breeding rules are no longer in effect, because breeding is forbidden until further notice. Love this. This is why we also won't be holding stamina tests this coming week. Because stamina tests, I have a hard time breathing through those tests. So I was really excited to see that. And here's the thing, it's taken them 5 years to figure out they weren't in compliance. Wow. I wonder if they got a little letter.
So now they're not going to breed. Basically, they're like rescue now. The club is like a rescue.
No.
The pugs that are...
No, it's a membership.
Oh.
It's a membership of papered dogs, basically. Here's what's going to happen. Because they have lots of events and stuff like that, yeah. Here's the thing. I wonder how long it's going to take, though, to see the changes in short, snouted, that's not even a word, in dogs with short snouts, to actually come back to what they were sometimes hundreds of years ago, what they actually looked like and how breeding has really ruined these breeds and given them, nothing worse than being born with a physical problem. It's terrible to not be able to breathe properly, to not be able to run a lot. I mean, it's terrible. It's really, and to overheat. I mean, it's pretty bad when you think about that. But I think this is an amazing step, an absolutely amazing step. It's just, I'm about, Anyway, it says couldn't read Dutch on the main website. So what I need to do is actually just go to my laptop and get it translated through Google Translate and read a little bit more about it. But that was pretty cool to hear that, don't you think, Jim?
Yeah. How big is Dutchland?
Deutschland.
About the size of Holland.
We worked with a lot of...
Probably about the size of Los Angeles.
We
really.
worked with a lot of Dutch people, though, remember? On cruise ships?
We worked for
Holland America
line.
Yeah, but not everybody was Dutch.
All the
captain, all the crew, what did they call them?
The officers.
The officers and the captain were... Some of the crew staff were... I think the chefs were, weren't they?
Yeah, the Dutch.
Yeah, we worked with lots of them.
We're Dutch.
Deutschland. We had a friend who was from South Africa who spoke Dutch.
But didn't tell the Dutch.
But didn't tell the Dutch. And they would say stuff about him because he was, oh my gosh, one of the best people ever on that ship. Wasn't he great, Jim? Just a great guy. Here's the thing, all the girls really liked him. And the officers didn't like that.
Correct.
So, because believe this or not, the officers really felt that they had the pick of the girls above anyone. It was very weird. Very weird. Anyway, he would hear them talking all kinds of smack about him. And it was his last day on the ship. And he said, yeah, I'm going to take care of a few people. And when he revealed he understood everything that they said because he spoke to them in Dutch, they couldn't believe it. So, yeah, it was...
You should have done it sooner. Checked him while he was still there.
Well, no, because you know what would have happened? He'd have been thrown in the brig, in the jail or off the ship. And he did love being on the ship. He was a great guy. Was he casino?
Yeah, he was
dealer?
a casino dealer.
Yeah, he was great.
From South Africa.
Yeah, he was great.
I
Funny.
think he was a triathlete as well.
Oh, gosh, he was in shape.
Dutch
wasn't
Army.
He? It was crazy. But yeah, really nice guy, real gentleman. Anyway, we've gone a little bit off the thing there. Here's a topic that I'm really glad to talk about. And it's a simple thing. It's something you can actually do today. And it's called a decompression walk with your dog and how it can change your dog's life. And I think we all need a decompression walk once in a while. But decompression walks are where a dog is allowed freedom of movement in nature. Dogs, as you know, given the chance, naturally like to hunt, explore, scavenge, sniff, chase, run, dig, play, roll in things that smell. And they're often dead and often very, very gross. But that's called being a dog.
You know, that's why we should take them tonight when it cools off a little bit up to the off-leash park in Boulder City. That might be good for them.
Do they have cactus up there?
No.
Are you sure?
That is designed for dogs to roam.
Because that's the only thing I'm concerned
about. That's a roamy park.
But what about snakes and stuff up there?
No, that's roamy. That park was designed. It's not just the wild fenced in.
Oh, I thought it was. I thought it was just fenced in area.
No, it's not just the wild fenced in.
Yeah, because... Let's explain this to you. It's so simple, though, but depending on where you live and where you walk, you may not be giving your dog an opportunity to experience a walk full of enrichment and a choice to be a dog. And maybe you do the same walk every day. Maybe you walk where there's noise and traffic and people and other dogs, which can be stressful for dogs. And a lot of those factors are like I say, stressful, not just for the dog, but they are for me. Oh, gosh, I walked yesterday, and guess what? And it was... a little bit dark. No, it was the night before when people were putting out their rubbish for the bin man to come and show up. And I saw in the distance...
That's the trash man.
I saw a little dog. I thought, no, it's not off leash. Oh my gosh, I've got 2 dogs. I'm by myself. What am I going to do? So that's the kind of stuff that stresses me out because we've been attacked before. It's horrible. Anyway, so a lot of those factors are stressful to you and your dog, and if you think about it, it's just sometimes just not fun. Anyway, if it all depends. Are you a city dweller? Are you someone who dwells in the countryside? Could your walks be adding stress to your dogs? Think about that, and to you. And I do think it's important to recognize how much we control our dogs' lives. I mean, my dogs, I tell them when to get up because they don't get up before me. But you tell them to wake up, you tell them to go outside and have a wee, you're telling them to eat some food, you're telling them it's bath time, you're telling them it's walk time, you're telling them we're going to the groomer, we're going to the vet, and then you tell them you go to bed. when does your dog get to just de-stress and decompress and say, I'm just going to take a day off today. Stop telling me what to do. Think about it. We control every aspect of our dog's lives. And does much of that allow them to be a dog? Anyway, so decompression walks are simple, and then that you choose a place where you can have peace and quiet, like going to the countryside or the woods, or like Jim said, what is it called, that park? It's just what is it? I don't know.
I forget the name. I'm going to look it up right now.
But it's up in Boulder City, and it's preferred if you can walk off leash. I mean, of course, you've got to look at laws. You've got to look at who's around. You've got to look at, does my dog have a very good recall? Because you're going to need that. But another alternative is to use, now they said a long rope. A rope can be quite heavy, but I think you could be very creative in the way that you link up leashes. Not going to be heavy, they're going to be secure, but it gives them a little bit of freedom, yeah? Not a retractable leash. We all know they're far too dangerous for you and your dog, and if anyone's ever had a burn from a retractable leash, you're nodding your head right now and going, oh yeah, I still remember how bad that was. And they do leave scars, horrible, but what it can do to your dog is terrible. Anyway, so being off leash or on a long leash allows your dog to experience freedom and a chance to be a dog and sniff and run and roll and all those great things I mentioned earlier that dogs love to do. Now, lots of people have noted that a decompression walk has truly helped their dogs gain a lot more confidence, that they feel like their dog feels happier, more settled, certainly less stressed. And in general, we know that, all those things just help us feel better. And I would love to see, because I work with so many rescues, I would love to see foster parents partaking in decompression walks with their foster dogs. It would be a good thing for everyone involved, especially if you are a foster parent. That's in itself stressful too. So I think that would be great to actually plan that. And I think, we also have to get away from saying a tired dog is a good dog, because a tired dog can still be a stressed dog, which I'm going to talk about if I have time at the end of the show. For example, long frisbee sessions and ball play can be stressful. That repetitive, and it can also become a little addictive for dogs as well. And city living can be stressful. And of course, there's nothing worse than a boring walk as well, doing the same thing over and over and over again, yeah? And it's funny when people say, my dog always stops at this one place and wheezes, or my dog always stops at this one place and sniffs. And it's like, oh my gosh, your poor dog's in such a routine. Give it some variety in life, because variety is the spice of life. Now, decompression walks allow dogs to be dogs, engage in their natural behaviors in a way that is not hurried, and it's not lacking in enrichment. It's full of enrichment, and it gives your dog freedom of movement. It also gives them a choice of where they want to explore. Like I say, many times, people will not let their dogs sniff when I see them on a walk. And the walk is for your dog. Of course, it benefits you, but you've really got to focus on your dog and give your dog that freedom to sniff, because that's exercise too, and exploring. And it provides physical and mental stimulation. And as a bonus, it helps you slow down as well. So for dogs who experience, I would say, fear, anxiety, stress, or reactivity during their daily walks, I think decompression time can serve as a really important part of stress relief, and it's an important way to improve their behavioral health as well. And decompression walks, of course, will be very different for all dogs. And here are some suggestions for you. You have to be, creative. Walk on trails, the beach, any grassy area. If you walk your dog and you never go on the grass, what? Find a grassy area. Football or a baseball field, which we have. Sometimes we sneak down there because it's enclosed in. And, you can choose early mornings, late nights, when it's quieter, if you find that that's going to be better for your dog and for you. If you just want some quiet time with your dog, this would be perfect. What I mentioned a few shows back was, I forgot the name of it, and I wish I remember the name, but there's a company and there's an app, and you can actually find spaces where you can take your dog. So if you've got a dog that's reactive, for example, they had everything from someone's secure back garden to literally acres that were secured, and you pay an hourly fee for your dog, if you take your dog there to let it have some space, some freedom, or maybe train. Maybe it's the kind of dog that I can't take it to the training facility and I don't want to bring the trainer to the house because I have no space. And I thought it was a great solution. I think that also is a great alternative when you need to do a decompression walk. And it'll be fun, of course, to plan a decompression walk. It's something you and your dog can do together, and you can both benefit from it. And who doesn't need some quiet time to literally stop and smell the roses? I enjoy it when I see my dogs exploring and smelling things and getting excited about whatever they're sniffing and picking up information as they go. I think that's fantastic. They're being a dog. And like I say, we control way too much of their lives. We need to really allow them that freedom. So yeah, get creative. And it looks like there are going to be tons of benefits for both you and your dog. And how fun is that to say, oh, on the weekend, we're going to go here. We're doing a little trip this weekend because we can, have a decompression walk. I love it. The one thing I did want to cover, where did I put it? Ooh, you got a few minutes. Got a few minutes. I think I hope I do have it. This kind of rolls right into this. A tired dog is a good dog. And I talked about obsessive frisbee playing, for hours on end, or that chuck it toy thing, whatever they call it, lobbing the ball, and all the dog does is
too much fetch.
You know what? That's a good hashtag, that, Jim. Too much fetch. Well, here's this I found.
I came up with that.
It's very good, Jim. Theo Stewart, who's a trainer, I think in the UK, and said, I've hidden the ball thrower, a cautionary tale. Pickle is obviously Theo's dog. Pickle loves to chase the ball. He races down the field after it, spins in the air as it bounces and leaps to catch it. Now 9 years old, his energy is still endless when fired up by a ball. Ball thrower, ball launcher, ball chucker. Users seldom ration their use. Like 5 throws and put it away. They don't. We see people do it all the time in the dog park, like for half an hour. It's like, what? Anyway, Pickle is an addict. Even though we hadn't used a ball thrower for years, or so I thought, Pickle is still an addict. He always will be. Certain dogs are prone to obsessing. Too much chasing the ball, run, fetch, drop, run, fetch, drop, run, fetch, drop. You get the idea there. And the dog can become what they call an adrenaline junkie, yeah? With many dogs, it's the chase that's the exciting part of it. Catching the ball and bringing it back is just, the work they have to do in order to get the same chase fix, basically, is how he's calling it. And it's like, when the ball stops being thrown, then it's almost like life stops for the dog, is what he's saying. Like, oh, okay, so where's the ball? Find the ball. Throw the ball. I'm stood here. I'm looking at you. I'm staring you down. Where's my ball? Anyway, he said ball throwing goes on indoors too. The dog, often a border collie, will constantly drop the ball at the feet of anyone who will throw it. And people do over and over and over again. So they're the, what they call enablers. But a lovely walk can become nothing more than all about the ball, fetching and dropping it. For it to be thrown once again. The richness of the countryside, yes, and guarantee you is from the UK. The richness from the countryside becomes lost to the dog, who should be using his wonderful nose to sniff and explore the environment and the scents on the trail left by other dogs and other animals and bugs and anything they would normally encounter. And there could be other dogs to meet and people to greet, but no, this dog's got his ball, and his human becomes robotic and mindless and continuously lobbing the ball with the ball thrower. And again, this is a very much stop and smell the roses, isn't it? Unnatural, he said. Would the dog, in all honesty, in the environment by itself, without people, be doing anything so repetitive naturally? And we know that's not the case. They would, of course, be there's the hunting, part of it, where, you've got to stalk the prey, chase it, hopefully catch it, and then maybe eat it or roll in it, like we talked about earlier. But they say an exception may be a terrier clearing a haystack of rats, but even that would be over and done with quickly. So what he's saying is they don't do repetitive things, yeah? I find that dogs like border collies that are bred to be patient and persistent obsess the easiest on balls or anything involving concentration and focus. And a through, that is 2 words together, few and throw, a through. A few throws with a ball thrower and a collie can be hooked. Anything repeated over and over can be addictive and can cause stress because you want it to keep repeating all the time, yeah? Because you want to keep, chasing it. Anyway, he calls it pickling. So his little dog, he calls it pickling. And Pickle is actually a Cocker Spaniel. And he would chase the ball all day, given the chance. However, without a ball, he is happily pickling. I call pickling what instinctively comes to him, which is running the whole perimeter of the field before zigzag crossing it. And his tail is wagging as he explores with his nose. He may be chasing a pigeon, sniffing at a mouse, or trying to dig up a mole. Oh, definitely in England. Pickle's a working dog. Likes to use his brain while exercising. And then he talks about this bucket incident. He said Tony walks the dogs. A couple of days ago, he took the 4 dogs out into the field as usual. Time passed. Then, with a crash, Pickle charged back in through the open door ahead of my other 3 dogs. He leapt into the large water bucket the dogs drink from, digging in the water, grunting and snorting, water flying everywhere. Dripping, he did about 10 zoomies over the sofas and round the coffee table. Then he jumped into the water bucket, knocked it over, and it was a big, mess of a pond in there. And he said, why had Pickle come home so manic? He went, I knew. Without asking, I knew that Tony had rediscovered the ball thrower. So years ago, he said he decided, based on the behavior of many of the dogs that he visited professionally, that we shouldn't just do this repetitive ball play. And their ball thrower was buried in the shed. Oh, that's what he thought. Anyway, he said he waits, he stares, come on, throw it. And that's from the dog's perspective. He brings the ball back, drops it where it makes it easiest for the person to pick it up. Yeah, they do, though, don't they? They go, I'll make it easy for you, human, to throw that for me. So true. And then they run off in anticipation where the ball might land. Isn't ball play meant to tire the dog out and make him calm? Isn't a tired, physically worn-out dog a good dog? Fat chance. It's the opposite. So Pickle acted possessed, he said, wired and really reactive. And Pickle was on high alert for sounds for the rest of the day. The next morning, it was still wired, getting vocal and excited for his breakfast, perfectly illustrating how stress chemicals, the adrenaline and cortisol, had built up and remained in the body for some time. So he said, I've hidden the ball thrower. Why don't you just throw it away? No ball thrower yesterday, no ball thrower today. Pickle has been out in the field, just pickling, no balls. And then he comes home, he has a drink, and he settles down. And today the neighbours wheeled their bin down the passage, and he said, see, bin man? He's English. And after just one token wolf, Pickle settled again. No vocals before breakfast. And it's taken nearly 3 days for him to get back to his usual self. And if anyone reading this has a high-wired or working dog and uses a ball thrower to chuck a ball repeatedly for the dog, just try something for me. Try not to throw the ball for a few days. Your dog may find doing his own thing and withdrawal very hard to start with, but persist. He may need to go cold turkey. I mean, how do you even limit that, in all honesty? And just allow him freedom to explore and sniff and chase and find things for himself to chase. And this will result in a less wide dog that is able to better cope with all sorts of things life throw at him, from encountering other dogs on walks to being less destructive to not overreacting to sounds to waiting patiently for dinner, just settling down peacefully. And he said the list just goes on and on and on, those benefits. And just possibly also, he said, no more chasing, leaping and twisting for high and bouncing balls from a thrower will save him from future injury. And that is something to consider. Repetitive movement can cause strain and injury. And I thought that was a fantastic article, and something that, I think a lot of people use it as an easy way. They think of exercising their dog. Well, I'll just keep lobbing it with this thing. It's easy. The dog brings it back. I don't even have to get off the bench at the dog park. I just keep throwing it. How easy is this? He gets exercise. I get to sit around. But as we know now, that's not the case. So I thought you would really like that article. So I think that couples in nicely with a decompression walk, where we're focusing on them being a dog. Well, Jim, I think my timing was impeccable today. I have to say that.
Pretty good.
It's really good, actually.
Pretty good.
Don't forget, you can subscribe to the show. And if you want my show in your inbox every single week, just makes it super easy on you. You can actually subscribe. Just go in the show notes. It's right there. And I want to thank you for listening to the show, catching up on the podcast, sharing the show with your friends, and all the incredible feedback that we get on the topics and the people we bring on the show to help improve the lives of your pets. I want to thank you for being a fantastic pet parent and caring about every aspect of your pet's lives. So today, you've been listening to, and I've missed something out here. I missed my little...
You forgot to thank me.
I have to thank Jim, of course, always, and my dogs are just being super cute because nothing better than that. I've lost my spot in my show. This is so weird. A part of my show's missing. I always say, remember, here we go. That was so weird. Remember, you can help an animal in need, either rescue, adopt, donate, volunteer, share their information, take them on a decompression walk, stop throwing the ball and stop throwing the frisbee and let them be a dog. Yeah? Rescue your next family member, replace the word shop with adopt, and be kind to all animals. Now, please take a moment, like our Facebook page, follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Don't forget to post pics of your pets. We'd love to see your little fur babies. Tell us their names and what you love about them. Don't forget to enter our giveaway for the Meow Notebook. And today, you've been listening to Vegas Rock Dog Radio, where it's all about pets, people, and pop culture. I'm your host, Sam, the queen of rock and roll dogs. And always kiss your pets good morning and good night. And I'll see you next time.
You've been listening to Vegas Rock Dog Radio. Pets, people, pop culture. You've been listening to Vegas Rock Dog Radio. Pets, people, pop culture.
Visit Vegas Rock Dog Radio for more information. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And subscribe on iTunes and iHeartRadio. And remember, give your fur babies a big kiss from me, Sam, the queen of rock and roll dogs. You must not rely on the information in this broadcast from our host as an alternative to medical advice from your veterinarian. If you have any specific questions about a medical matter regarding your pets, you should consult your veterinarian or specialist.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.